Welcome back, everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. Today I'm here with a Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. It's certainly been a while since I've done one of these, but we're going to get right into it. We've got two great players here, so it should be a great matchup. Today we have ourselves a Protoss versus Zerg on the map Whirlwind here, so a 4-player map. So we're going to see how this works out. So without further ado though, spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map, playing for Team Dead Pixels. It is Patience. Patience, a red Protoss player, recently won a relatively stacked tournament, Home Story Cup. So he's got that under his belt, so he's clearly been playing well. We're going to see if he'll be able to bring it up against the Zerg player, spawning in the top right-hand side of the map. Playing for Splice in the blue, it is Solar. So Solar, one of the best Zerg players out there. He's had his ups and downs, but he's certainly got his a good amount of wins and losses. And if you aren't aware of these two players, they're both Koreans, so they're talking to each other here. Patience going for a pylon block, stopping Solar from expanding right away. Solar did go for the spawning pool first, so he's going to be aware of that. Patience trying to be as much of a nuisance as possible, going for another pylon block here. He does not want Solar to expand. And I'm not someone who plays Protoss a lot, but the times that I have played Protoss, I actually really enjoy doing these strategies, as it just throws a Zerg player off so much, as it's hard to know exactly how to react to this. Solar forced to take an expansion he might not have wanted to take close to the Protoss player. Now, he actually hasn't been aware that's where the Protoss player came from, but he's going to know that now, as Patience is just starting to wall off at the front. Got his Expo. And Solar's seen that, but Solar is now down on workers. Patience got a good Nexus timing. He's going to have a wall off, and Solar's got a really late hatchery. So this is a bit of dirty play from Patience, but he's a player who can certainly bring that out. So these Lings are going to start working away at these pylons for Patience, so he will have to throw down another one, as he has been relying on it. He did end up canceling this one. But, yeah, so very not standard build as far as this goes, but a lot of Protoss lately have been going for the one block on the hatchery, as it's just worth it for them to deny the Zerg from getting a comfortable hatchery and playing how they want. An Adept being chronoed out for Patience. He didn't go for an early Zealot. He's going to rely on this Adept to shoo away any potential Zerglings for Solar. Solar does have speed on the way, but it's a while off here. Alrighty, so Overlord is really just seeing that Patience is walling off for Solar. He is seeing that he's starting to mine. He's not sure what else is coming on the way. Now, Patience did go for a Stargate, but it's relatively close to the front, so if Solar does poke in, he might be able to see this. His Ling is running for it, and this is actually going to be a great scout for Solar here. Seeing that this is coming, so he's not going to be caught off guard without Spore Crawlers or Queens in position anyway, or at least he shouldn't be. Solar now taking that third hatchery, as he was forced to take his outer hatchery quicker, which can actually be quite a nuisance for Zerg, as creep is very late at the natural here with this late hatchery, so it takes quite a while for units to move back and forth. Solar starting to spread creep, but it will be a while before all these bases are connected. Right now we see gateways going up for Patience, so it could be an aggressive build here. Going for an Oracle, 2 more gateways on the way. Might just want to be completing his wall here, but this is certainly going to allow him to warp in some units and go for pressure if he chooses to. Whether Solar, who was sort of put off a bit at the start of this game, is going to be able to respond is the question. Adepts poking in with their shade. This is on patch 3.8, so their vision isn't that great, otherwise they possibly would have seen a lot more there. So these Adepts for Patience are just going home. He might wait for more, but he's got out this Oracle now. It's going to be heading out. Of course, Solar sees this right away. Phoenix follow up for Patience, so he is going to be wanting to kill that Overlord off. Deny as much vision as possible. Another Overlord moving in for Solar, possibly scouting, possibly just trying to get away. He has seen the third Nexus for Patience, so Patience isn't going for a crazy 2-base all-in or anything like that. The Oracle is actually taking a bit of damage for Patience there. Gets off a Revelation, but really not much else as... And an Oracle usually wants to get some aggression done. Aggression such as killing units. Well, drones mainly, and he didn't get a single one with that. He's going to clean up the Overlord, sure, but this Stargate hasn't necessarily paid for itself. Patience throwing down a lot of other tech now, so he's not going to be committing to Phoenix or anything, it looks like. Just going for a Twilight Council here. getting up a Robobay and a Forge, so it likely will be a ground-based army. Protoss players have been going for either Stalkers and Immortals and Sentries. A lot of ground-based compositions right now for Protoss, just to push out and try to kill Zergs, or just to defend Zerg attacks if they go for if the toss does eventually tech into something like Sky units and carriers. We see Lings for Solar moving in here, starting to pick off a few pros, but I think just one went down there. Solar now does have these Lings, so he can always be trying to sort of jockey for map position here, keep Patience on his toes, and Solar might actually get into the main. Fast wall off by Patience, so he saw that was coming. Throws down a pylon, stops those Lings from getting in. It was actually just good timing that probe was there though, so he managed to get the wall off. We see a Dark Shrine on the way for Patience here, so that is his tech of choice. He's not going to be committing to a large attack or anything. He'll likely get out a Warp Prism soon, move out with DTs, might go for a double Archon drop, which some pros have been going for, but this is sort of later here. It's not a super quick DT rush or anything like that, as he did go for a Stargate first. He got up the third base very quickly. Oh, a Stasis Ward from that Oracle, getting a bit of use here. Actually managed to catch a large amount of Lings. The Solar has been pushing out. He's even brought some Queens here for this push with these Roaches. He's moving in, and this third base for Patience is going to have to be abandoned. The Immortal coming out here, starting to shoot at some of the Queens, but it doesn't do too much damage to the Queens. The Roach and Ravager count is very high for Solar right now, though. The Lings freed from Stasis. Corrosive Vials raining down. These Adepts do have well, they actually don't have Resonating Glaives yet, so it will be a while. Now, there is the Dark Shrine that's going to be finishing up for Patience here, so he will be able to warp in a few DTs. He'll be able to kill off units like the Queen's Forces push back here. But there is a lot of Lings and Ravagers, so there is a lot of potential damage coming out of Solar. Solar does not actually have a lair, so there's no way for him to get an Overseer over here. So he's actually just going to be forced back. Great defense by Patience here. Now, this means... Oh, there actually was a DT. Oh my gosh, this Archon was just being pushed back and forth by the drones here. So he did get some kills with that. You'll have to forgive me, I'm a little rusty with this. So he's only killed 7 drones in this game, so not too much right there. The Warp Prism can still warp in more units, but right now, Patience lost his third base. He's down on supply. Solar's only on 3 bases for a Zerg, so he might be wanting to get up a 4th relatively soon here. Baneling Nest on the way though for Solar, so he might just go for another attack once he has Overseers here, as he's making more and more Roaches. Patience does have +1 attack. Solar is getting +1 melee for his Zerglings though, so he will be able to kill off these units, and that Warp Prism actually went down, so that's a massive loss here. Oracle moving in, just getting off of Revelations, banking a lot of energy, so it could do with throwing down some Stasis Wards. He did get a good Stasis Ward before, it could do with another. Stalker cleaning. The Phoenix is still there, but it's not really doing much, so the Stalker is cleaning up the Overlord. Ooh. You will want to bring that over to get that Overlord. Any little pickup right now. And Overlords are something that Zerg players can sort of get caught off when they're trying to go for some aggression. It's easy for them. I mean, good players like Solar aren't necessarily going to do that. He's actually made a massive amount of creep here. But it can be hard for Zerg players to be keeping on top of their Overlords, and just killing off one Overlord or 1 or 2 Overlords with the Phoenix would actually be very nice, as it could sort of throw Solar off tempo. This Dark Templar denying this expansion for now here, starting to hack away at these Zerglings, but an Overseer is going to come in and just seal the fate of that Dark Templar. Disruptors on the way for Patience. He did get that Robotics Bay here, so he is going to be able to start making these Disruptors. 1 or 2 good Disruptor hits can certainly bring Patience back into this game, but right now he's down on army supply. He does have 2 Immortals, but creep is literally on his doorstep right now. Solar has just been spreading and spreading this. I don't think there's even an Observer, so he can't necessarily push it back right now. No, he can't. Patience is just too busy trying to get out units right now, as Solar has a very scary amount. He's doubling Patience's army supply. He's morphing in Banelings here. And there is so many Lings here. Right now there's 70 Lings, but not to mention about 20 Banelings here, so this is going to be a massive attack, and I'm not sure if Patience is going to be able to hold on. A Disruptor Shot goes out, it actually gets a decent connection, picks off a Ravager, but there are so many Lings here. The other Disruptor is just coming out right now. It could actually get a great shot off here, and it does move in. It picks off about 4 Ravagers, massive Disruptor hit right there, but there's so many units for Solar that are getting in here. They're getting on top of the Immortals, no Force Fields coming down. Mothership Core can Photon Overcharge once or twice, but Banelings rolling into the mineral line, and all these units going down. DTs are being morphed in as a panic. It looks like there's no Overseer in sight for Solar, so these DTs will be able to pick off this army, but so many probes have gone down for Patience. And this is just going to put him in a tough spot. A disruptor shot goes out, but it completely whiffs here. Another disruptor shot moving out to try and save his friend, and he does. So Patience has managed to hold on. He's held the next, but he's down on supply. Solar never did get up a fourth base, and there's actually some DT harass counterattack going in for Patience right now. I guess he just warps him in with that Warp Prism to try and get something done, as the DTs can get some good damage off. Now, both players not on the best income right now. Patience's third base is actually going to mine out later than Solar, so it's actually getting to the point in which these players will start to mine out. The main base is mining out for Solar, so their income isn't the best. Solar went for that attack, and he didn't really get too much done there. So he does need to throw up a fourth base if he wants to transition out of this. There's going to be 3 disruptors soon for Patience here, so that's always got potential right now. But Patience is down on army supply. He's down in workers, so it's not looking too good for him. He's trying to get continuous adept harassment done here. And he's actually going to be able to start picking off a few drones right now. But he is going to need to get a good bit done here, and it seems that Solar's actually moving in for another attack here. He might be able to catch this one weakened disruptor out of the front, trying to get a cheeky shot off. It doesn't die, and he actually gets a good connection on some of those lings right now. There is only 1 disruptor shot left, though, for Patience right now. Disruptor shot going out, only going to connect with a Ravager and a Roach and maybe a Fueling. Stasis Ward catches a Fueling, but there's a lot more where that came from. Another Stasis Ward catches a good amount of them. Those Banelings stopped in their tracks. These Archons and Stalkers trying to hold on for Patience, and it seems that he may actually be able to make this hold. Not too many workers going down there, so this has been a great hold, a fantastic hold as a matter of fact for Patience. The Archon's so weak. The Stalkers are going to be able to pick off these Lings as they come out. Needs to be careful for these Banelings. This Archon's so weak, losing that would actually be very unfortunate. Solar, though, committing more to this attack. I guess he's just decided to go all in as a matter of fact right now. Queen's moving across the map. The Oracle's going to be out of energy, but it's trying to pick off anything that it can. Queen transfusing and actually saving a Ravager there. Phoenix is actually doing a fantastic job of picking off these Overseers, so DTs will be a factor once again. This one Phoenix just needs to get this Overseer, and Patience and Solar will be forced back. Right now, Adept's getting harassment off in each of the bases. Solar's worker count is plummeting right now. This Warp Prism has been worth its weight in gold right now. If that Warp Prism had kills, it would certainly be a lot more DTs warping in, but it might be the end of the Warp Prism here as Crowspell's raining down. DT gets picked up, but goes down right away in that Warp Prism. Now we see Patience. He's actually doesn't have Blink, but he's warped in a lot of Stalkers here. He's not researching Blink. Right now, he does have a bit of an upgrade advantage as all his units benefit it, whereas Solar only has the melee attack for his Lings. Solar is going to be going for another attack here, though, but the supplies are more in favor of Patience. Well, not in favor, but they're better for Patience compared to the last fight he took. He's down 30 supply, but he does have this Archon. He's got another Disruptor out, so there's always great potential for Patience. He throws out a Disruption over right away, but Solar could possibly move in for an attack now as this Disruptor has fired at shot. Solar coming in for a complete surround here. Baneling's getting great connections, though Force Fields try to save some of them, but there has been a massive connection. There is a new Overseer, so these DTs are going to go down. The Phoenix isn't in sight to pick it off. The Phoenix actually went down, so nothing's going to be able to pick off that Overseer right now, and it seems that Solar may have finally taken this game here. Probes being pulled, Adept's trying to fight. A Disruptor comes in, actually completely misses there, and GG is going to be called as Solar manages to take the game. That was a back and forth game. It really looked like Solar had it from the start there, but Patience certainly made him work for it there. So this has been my first cast in quite a while, guys. I hope it wasn't too rocky here. I hope you enjoyed the game. 2 great players here. If I find some more good replays, I'll certainly cast them more. I love casting StarCraft. It's just sometimes it's a bit of a pain to find replays that are up to date on the current patch, so we can have all these fancy overlays and whatnot. But anyway, that was a great game between these 2 players. Patience certainly showing that he's still a top player, and we're actually going to see how these players do going into 2017 here. But regardless, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the cast, feel free to leave a like or a comment. And if you also have any feedback, feel free to let me know, as that certainly helps me improve my casting. Regardless, I shall see you guys next time. Enjoy.